All right, guys. So we got another minor but major update today. So offensive line coach John Benton, he's coached multiple teams before, right? Rams, Texans, Jaguars, 49ers. So those are some of the connections to Robert Saleh. But as far as our offensive line coach goes, Thursday night he was arrested on the DUI. So it's very odd, at least in the last half decade for us, where if you take a look at the early 2010s, we're having player mishaps, circumstances and situations that might be a detriment to the season. And then when you take a look at the end of the 2010 period, you don't really hear too much noise, right? There might be a splash here or there, something, out of the blue that happens. And, Marcus May would be the most recent one in memory. Other than that, the only thing I can think of is maybe something I remember hearing about Brandon Marshall. But either way, it's significant for this reason. So it was kind of it wasn't worded this specific way, but when we heard Laken Tomlinson talking about why he chose the Jets over other prominent teams he could have went to, he did talk about the scheme for one, and he talked about the coaching personnel. And he's used to John Benton. He knows Robert Saleh. He likes or loves Mike LaFleur. And John Benton's a huge part of a lot of the success that they've seen during his time with the 49ers, which is when he also had his turnaround. So aside from it being something that would lure in, top tier free agents or, just players that we can draft and really develop and see success with, this is something that can impact the team during the preseason training camp, even into the regular season, depending on what it is. With the coaches, it tends to be a little bit weirder. You don't hear the follow-ups necessarily as you would with like the updates we got with Marcus May, court days being pushed back and things like that. And I would have to get the feeling that they would get the same leeway where if it's going to impact the job, and I don't know if it happens this way with the players intentionally, but if it's going to impact the performance where they're able to just continue pushing back the dates until, such time where it'll be a little bit more prudent for him to deal with whatever the negative fallout and impact is going to be. But again, this is a situation where we finally have an opportunity where we have proven guys that have been able to essentially come in and play at a high level. And if it's not an availability concern, it's definitely not a talent issue. So I don't want John Benton to necessarily have to go away for any period of time. We had already lost one of the assistant offensive line coaches, Moreland, that ended up jetting for a tight end position. I want to say tight end coaching position with the Broncos or Colts, I want to say. So it would be a little bit of a blow. Is it going to crater, the entire structure of the organization? No. But it is something we should keep an eye on. Hopefully it's water under the bridge, essentially. I don't condone DUIs in any way. But it's definitely something that can lead into some potential performance issues. We got Mekhi Becton coming back that we just want to see him doing his part, healthy and in shape for what we need to do. And then we can coach up some of the deficiencies that we've seen during some of the snaps leading into the preseason period. And things like that for him while he gets adjusted to this new offense still. But you have George Fant that came in and performed excellently. We still want to see AVT come in and do great things. Connor McGovern hopefully stays on the trend of being a top 10 center if we don't have any kind of improvements or significant backup adds there. And then, at right guard, we still want to bring in Laurent Duvernay-Tardif. As well as just getting Laken Tomlinson. And then, of course, we probably still need some kind of swing tackle. We have Connor McDermott, but somebody that can feasibly take over in the case that George Fant doesn't get an extension, or if he does, when he finally decides to call it a day. But those are the thoughts on that. We don't have anything else other than the charge. He's already been released, so it's not like they're still holding on to him. But let me know what you guys think. Hopefully it ends up being nothing. I know we did already grab an offensive assistant line coach replacement for Moreland. I haven't checked into who he is or anything like that. But either way, hopefully it turns into nothing and it's really not that big of a news. But let me know what you guys think, and I'll catch up with you again.